Welcome to our WVCS Lift Us Up Capital Campaign virtual celebration. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us this evening. My name is Monica Chandra, and I was the board chair here at West Valley Community Services for the last 3 years. Needless to say, these are really challenging times for all of us, but particularly for the low income and homeless people who are already struggling to make ends meet. As job losses are creating more uncertainty and food insecurity, our goal is to actively prevent evictions and make sure everyone has access to fresh and nutritional food. As an essential organization, we have kept operating through these challenges, helping even more new clients every single day. I'm incredibly proud to share that our WVCS team has come together to work through all of this with enthusiasm, flexibility, and resilience. As a board member, it's really rewarding to see these efforts recognized by our broader community. The city of Cupertino was recently proclaimed August 6th as West Valley Community Services Day in honor of the date that we were founded. I'm also proud to share the news that the Cupertino Chamber of Commerce has awarded West Valley Community Services the Star Award for Nonprofit of the Year. With the pandemic, we're going to see an even greater need in the coming months and years. We are so grateful to the entire WVCS community, especially our volunteers, our donors, and our supporters. We're just blown away by your compassion and your generosity during this capital campaign. And it's because of you, WVCS is really going to be able to rise up today and fight the increased hunger and housing problem in our area. Now I'm going to turn it over to Josh, our executive director, who also, not surprisingly, has been named Citizen of the Year by the Cupertino Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you so much, Monica. And thank you to everyone who joined us this evening. While we can't be together in person for tonight's event, it fills my heart with joy to see the faces and names of so many WVCS friends and allies, and to share tonight's special announcement with you. Over the past 48 years since we were founded, West Valley Community Services has helped countless men, women, and children facing imminent eviction or food insecurity, families struggling to put food on the table and keep a roof over their heads. Our approach is to connect food and housing insecure families with the resources they need to chart a path to long-term stability. Our headquarters here in Cupertino, built in 2002, has struggled to keep up with the increasing requests for assistance. Even before COVID-19 emerged, we'd been seeing significant year-over-year increases in demand. And then the pandemic hit, driving triple-digit client increases, drastic changes to operations, challenging physical distancing requirements, and daily hurdles to navigate. In fact, last year alone, we distributed more than $1.4 million in rental assistance, provided the equivalent of more than 2.5 million meals, and served nearly 2,000 clients coming to us for the very first time for help. We've heard heartbreaking stories of layoffs and furloughs, of seniors stranded at home without food, single parents trying desperately to support their family without the prospect of a job in the midst of a pandemic. And for the first time in our 48-year history, we've seen lines snaking out our front door and around the corner, around the block, hungry and scared men, women, and children without resources and often without hope. How did we make it through this challenging time? You, our incredible community, our donors, our volunteers, our board members, our staff, business owners, and our government leaders came together to ensure our clients had the resources they needed to weather this storm. And as an essential business, we were open without interruption throughout the pandemic. And your support is what made that possible. We also learned an important lesson. Our building is just not set up to effectively serve the West Valley, not as the demand stands right now. We learned that as our community safety net, we would need to physically stretch and grow to meet the demand a demand that really didn't seem possible when our building opened almost 20 years ago. We would need more space, more room, more resources to fulfill our mission, uniting the community to fight hunger and homelessness. Now, I don't want to give too much away just yet, but thanks to key partners and donors and an incredibly compassionate community, we have a very exciting update about that lesson to share with you tonight. And in order to do that, I want to pass it on to our Capital Campaign Committee Chair, Jeannie Bradford.
Thank you so much, Josh. Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy you're here, and I am so excited about this moment. This is what a lot of us have been working for the last 14 months. I have to say, I have been privileged to be a volunteer with West Valley Community Services over the last 3 years. I've had the opportunity to do many things, and the latest is I've had the opportunity to chair this capital campaign. It's been a humbling experience, and I'm thrilled to be here tonight to share with you the progress that we've made. But let me take a quick step back. What Josh talked about, why now? Well, he just shared with you the increasing year-over-year demand that we were seeing. And we began to reimagine what could be possible so we could serve more people and do it quickly. And as we reimagined that, we also knew that we were in the middle of a compassionate and generous community that would stand with us and stand with our clients. And thus the Capital Campaign was born. Just 14 months ago, we started in the fundraising phase of this campaign. And we focused in just a small number of areas with the sole purpose of how can we help more people. So we decided that we wanted to expand our food pantry in Cupertino. We wanted to reimagine the office space in the building, so not only could we serve more clients, but that we could increase the way we did that with the guiding principle of compassion and respect. And we saw what was possible if we were able to customize a mobile food pantry, we're calling it the Park at Market, where we could help more people out in our service area who could not find their way to Cupertino easily. And this was the focus of our campaign. And in 14 short months, I am so thrilled to share with you that the progress we're making is we are starting construction this fall. So I know you're all on mute, but it's okay to hoop and holler a little bit wherever you happen to be. So construction this fall, yeah, great. And that means we are going to start work on expanding the pantry in Cupertino. The pantry will not go away, but we're very fortunate we're able to take over available space in the Oak Shopping Center, where we'll continue to be able to provide the pantry to our clients. And we've already started work on customizing our Park at Market, and we expect that to be done by the end of the year or early in 2021. Very, very exciting news. And we could not have done this without your support. So tonight we wanted to bring you together to share this great news and to thank you so much for your generosity. Now, in a moment, I'm going to propose a toast. But first, I'd like to show you the dedicated group of men and women that comprise the Capital Campaign Committee. So again, I know you're on mute, but please hoop and holler a little bit and help me thank and congratulate our team for their support, their dedication, and their ability to go out into the community and engage you with this important work. Shai Bhattacharya, Monica Chandra, Martha Fisk, Nancy Harper, Dennis Korbiak, Christina Korbiak, Sing Kung, Sunandini Radhakrishnan, Dolly Sandoval, and Jim Walker. Thank you all for what you've done in such a short period of time to bring this community together, to do this important work on behalf of the agency. And of course, we would have never been able to accomplish this goal without the amazing leadership, support, and guidance from Josh and Kohinoor and their teams. They are such an inspiration to us, to me, to our committee, and their dedication to this agency and their commitment to helping those in our community that are less fortunate than us is phenomenal. Thank you both so very much for all that you've done. Now, the toast. Please join me in a congratulatory toast to each of you for your incredible generosity. Everyone on this call has supported the mission of West Valley Community Services. I thank you for your compassion, your support, and your willingness to lift us all up. Cheers. Well, tonight, because this is such an awesome event, we've invited some guests to speak with you as well. Their support has been instrumental, not just in the capital campaign, but in support of our agency. Our first guest is San Jose Vice Mayor Charles Chappie Jones. Chappie was elected to the San Jose City Council in November of 2014. He represents City Council District 1, the region of West San Jose that borders the cities of Campbell, Cupertino, Santa Clara, and Saratoga. Chappie was born in Sacramento and moved to San Jose in the 1990s. His upbringing instilled a strong sense of civic responsibility and made him into a tenacious advocate of civil service, fiscal culpability, and community engagement. Prior to this election, Chappie worked in the private sector, where he held sales management positions at Apple and AT&T, and was executive manager with Cornerstone Consulting and Technology, and owned a technology service business. We are so happy to have you here this evening. Please join me in welcoming Vice Mayor Chappie Jones.
Thank you, everyone. I'm proud to represent the West Valley, West San Jose area of District 1. And it's been such a pleasure to partner with the West Valley Community Services over the course of the last few years. West Valley Community Services has demonstrated a continued commitment to serving the most vulnerable residents of my district and the greater West Valley community. Whether it's food distribution, financial assistance, or access to resources, they've done such an outstanding job of providing assistance and aid to low-income and homeless families, especially as the demand has increased due to COVID-19. I am so proud to announce that they are expanding their new mobile food pantry to serve the Cadillac, Winchester neighborhood area in their time of need. I'm truly humbled by the dedication and hard work of West Valley Community Services. In particular, Josh Solo and his leadership team, his staff, and the volunteers who provide these critical services and make it all possible. Our community is truly, truly grateful for all the outstanding work that you do. And I look forward to our continuing partnership into the future. Congratulations, West Valley Community Service, and thank you so much for all your hard work and what you do for our community.
Thank you so much, Vice Mayor Jones. Our next guest this evening is County Supervisor Joe Simidian. Joe serves the 5th District of Santa Clara County, which includes Palo Alto, Mountain View, Cupertino, Stanford, Los Altos Hills, and Saratoga, along with portions of Sunnyvale and San Jose. He was elected to the Board of Supervisors in 2012 and was re-elected in June of 2016. Joe brings to his work a wide-ranging perspective and background, service at all levels of state and local government, hands-on experience in the private sector, as well as professional education and training, particularly applicable to his work in public service. Like many of you, Joe has been a long-time, steadfast supporter of West Valley Community Services. In particular, Joe was instrumental in securing funding for our current mobile food pantry and our RIDE program. Please join me in welcoming Santa Clara County Supervisor, Joe Simidian.
Thanks so much for including me, and let me just make sure that I am coming through loud and clear. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to West Valley for what you are doing, what you have done, and most importantly, what it is you are now setting yourselves up to do for years and years and years into the future. This capital campaign is about answering the question, how can West Valley do even more, serve even more folks in the years ahead? And, you know, never resting on your laurels, never saying, well, that's all we can do, but always asking, where's the need and how can we respond? And how can we be sure we'll still be able to respond in the challenging years ahead? So thank you for all of that. It has always been a pleasure during my time on the Board of Supervisors to partner with West Valley Community Services when we ask ourselves, who can we get to help us with this? Who would be the right partner? West Valley is the immediate response that comes to mind, and every time we ask, the answer is always yes. Please know that even through tough times, we will be here to partner with you. I still call it the bookmobile for groceries in terms of the ability to get nutritious food out into the community. I am delighted that we were able to make a contribution to do our part from the county to make sure that this capital campaign and expansion goes well. But I think the piece that I want to end with and sort of carry home myself tonight as I think about the good works of West Valley is, we know that we live in a prosperous neighborhood. We know that there are a lot of folks who are doing real well. But truth be told, we know that there are a lot of people who don't share in that prosperity and who need our help. The measure of a community is whether it really is inclusive, whether it embraces the least among us, whether it accepts one and all in its definition of community. And West Valley Community Services is just that organization with a remarkable group of people who think that community means each and every one of us. So thank you for that. And last but not least, Josh, those chocolate chunk cookies are absolutely delicious. Stay at it in your spare time. Where you find that spare time, I do not know. But be well and know how much we appreciate the good work you have been doing and will be doing in the future. Take care.
Thank you so much, Supervisor Simidian. We're so glad that you've joined us tonight. West Valley Community Services is very fortunate to have incredible partners, organizations that believe in our mission in uniting the community to fight hunger and homelessness. One of our partners is here tonight, Raquel Gonzalez, Bank of America's Silicon Valley Market President. Raquel serves as the company's senior executive and enterprise leader. In this capacity, she works to connect employees in the bank's business lines to deliver integrated financial services to individuals, families, and businesses, and leads Bank of America's environmental, social, and governance work in the region. Please join me in welcoming Raquel Gonzalez.
Thank you so much, and good evening. We are so proud of our partnership with West Valley Community Services and the vital resources that they provide to help individuals and families who need it most. I think it's already been mentioned, but despite being an area known for its wealth, there are about 22,000 individuals that are living in poverty in the West Valley area. And since the pandemic, the need has only gotten larger. The agency is now seeing roughly a 470% increase in new clients from last year and about 260% increase for rental assistance. That's pretty significant. And we truly believe in West Valley and the impact of the organization in our community. Our support is helping them continue to provide critical resources. And most recently, we were very proud to help be a part of the mobile pantry effort to ensure that the clients have access to the food that they need and that it can be done and distributed in a safe manner. So we're excited to hear that with the mobile pantry, the agency is going to be able to literally double the number of locations they can visit each week. At Bank of America, our purpose is to provide support for our clients, the community, and our employees so that we can help financial lives, make their financial lives better. And we're focused on developing relationships with organizations that truly make an impact in the community and help provide economic mobility and social progress. And that's one of the reasons why we are so proud to partner with West Valley Community Services. We're also proud to share that we recently announced a national $1 billion 4-year commitment that's going to help us create opportunity for communities of color. And the focus is going to be on health, job training, reskilling and upskilling, support for small businesses, and housing. But we can't do this alone. It takes partners like West Valley to create impact and make a difference for our community. Josh, thank you for all that you and your team do. We are, again, an incredibly proud partner and just are thrilled to see what the future holds for you and the impact that you and your team will make in our community at a time when it needs the most. Thank you.
Thank you, Raquel. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. And the last partner we'd like to acknowledge tonight is the Health Trust, an early partner in this campaign. The Health Trust mission is to build health equity in Silicon Valley for vulnerable populations. Michelle Liu has served as the CEO of Health Trust since 2018. She could not be here to join us tonight, but has graciously sent a message of support.
Good evening, friends of West Valley Community Services. I'm Michelle Liu, CEO of the Health Trust, a local nonprofit operating foundation focused on building health equity in Silicon Valley. We're so thrilled to be partnering with West Valley Community Services. One of our focus areas is improving health through food, and we had a chance to walk through West Valley Community Services Food Pantry and hear about the dreams for growth. We are so excited about West Valley Community Services plans to increase the amount of healthy, nutritious food that they're providing to community residents in need. We wish you all the success, and we thank you, Josh, and the entire West Valley Community Services team. You are lifting all of us up through your inspiring, much-needed work. Best wishes.
Thank you so much to all of our guests this
Good
evening.
evening, friends of West.
Thank you, Michelle. As you can imagine, the effort to raise $2.1 million for this project was no easy task. And we're so grateful to all the partners and funders that made this project possible. I want to thank some specific folks for their support, their deep compassion, and their generosity to making this project possible. That includes Santa Clara County, the City of Cupertino, the Health Trust, Bank of America, the Sobrato Family Foundation, Sunlight Giving, Chris Gatley and the team at Eden Bridge Homes, Cheryl O'Connor and the team at Homemade, the Granite Rock Wolpert Family Foundation, the Headco Foundation, Adobe, TechCU, PayPal, Lehigh Hansen, KT Urban, and the MIDAR Foundation. I also want to thank some advisors who played a critical role in shepherding us to this victory. Dennis Karabiak, Mary Schmidt, Janice Ye, Bev Lenahan, Sandy James, and of course, a huge note of thanks to our immediate past board chair, Monica Chandra, our current board chair, Joan Cummings, our vice chair, Shai Bhattacharya, the capital campaign chair, Jeannie Bradford, our incredible board and staff, and the amazing Capital Campaign Committee who you met earlier. Their hard work, guidance, and vision made today's celebration possible. Lastly, but certainly not leastly, I want to thank the 271 individuals and couples who made a personal gift to support this campaign. From the very beginning, this organization was about, built by, and for the community. It's the love and support of folks like the 271 donors who are helping us to stretch to serve so many more people with the resources made possible by this campaign. The last few months have thrown so many challenges our way, but it is the commitment and compassion of donors and volunteers like all of you that has lifted us up during the darkest of times. Now, before we conclude this evening, I thought it would be good for you to hear about how this project is going to impact our clients. So for that, I'd like to turn it over to Sujatha Venkatraman, WVCS's Associate Executive Director.
Thank you, Josh. Coming to the food pantry is a necessity for our clients. However, a visit to a food pantry can take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, not counting travel time. When you are juggling 2 jobs, getting paid hourly, have medical appointments, childcare, elder care, and no reliable transportation, finding time is tough. Some clients complained about it, but most kept quiet. They were scared that if they complained a lot, we will only give them the option to pre-bag their grocery. They didn't want that. Shopping for their own food is a highlight of our food pantry. The support we have received from all of you is going to help our clients. So thank you. The Capital Campaign has helped us design a space that makes the food pantry operation more efficient. It will help us to serve more clients and continue to do so with dignity and compassion. Thank you. With that, I invite our board chair, Joan Cummings.
Thank you, Sujatha. I want to share a client story with you. Amy is a 66-year-old senior who is self-employed as a hairstylist. She had back surgery before COVID-19. As a result of the shutdown and her health conditions, she had to close her salon in March. She used all her savings to pay for rent during the shutdown. The only income she had was from unemployment, which also went to pay for rent. She had maxed out her credit cards for her monthly expenses. In despair over her situation, she reached out to WVCS to get help and was approved for June rent assistance. Amy continued to have hope that she could finally open up her salon again in July when the state lifted the ban. She called her case manager and expressed her joy and delight that it looked like she would be able to make it, and thanked us for the help with the rent in June. 2 days later, her joy turned into despair when the state once again closed the salons. Her case manager received an email from Amy with just one question, but it totally shattered her heart. How can I survive? And then a phone call followed from Amy. What can I do? I borrowed money from my friends to open up my salon again. Now I'm stuck. I lost my hope in March, gained my hope again, and now I've lost it all. Her case manager listened and suggested that she apply for rental assistance. She completed her application and was again approved for July. Also, her case manager advised her to talk to the owner of her salon to work out a payment plan. Luckily, the owner was approved for an SBA loan, and she allowed Amy to skip her rent in July. Amy was really happy and shared that WVCS had given her hope again during this most challenging of times. Amy sent an email to her case manager to thank her, and it read as such: "Hello to my dear WVCS. Thank you so much. Your leadership, care, and good heart has shown during the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you for being so helpful and positive during a time when many are uncertain. It is said in the most difficult times that the truth of a person's soul is seen, and I see you, and you are marvelous. Thank you." It is your support that makes this type of impact possible. And for that, we are incredibly grateful. Please join me in a final toast to West Valley and to all of you. And now I'm going to turn it over to Josh.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, Joan. As some of you know, in a normal year, tomorrow night would have been our annual Chefs of Compassion event. It would have been a time for us to come together as a community to celebrate our successes and raise money to support the work our agency does. But while COVID-19 is keeping us physically apart, the power of our community cannot be diminished. You see, Margaret Wheatley said, there is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about. So be it in person or over Zoom, we should be proud to know we live in a community that cares about its most vulnerable residents. You are that community. And as we conclude tonight, I raise my glass to you. Thank you so much. Be well and good night.